excelsis, sanctificetur nomen tuum, adveniat regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tua, sicut in cielo et in terra. Panem nostrum quotidianum da nobis hodie, et dimitte nobis debita nostra, sicut et nos dimittimus debitoribus nostris, et ne nos inducas in tentationem, sed libera nos a malo.
Hello, everybody. Oop,
Hello?
you turned me all the way off.
Oh, whoops.
Thanks.
Eh.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Wednesday night episode of Restore Christendom.
Good evening.
I am Tommy.
And I'm Emily.
All right, and today is
July 2nd, 2025.
July 2nd. So 2 more days till the 4th of July.
Something like that.
Yes. Celebrating Freemason Day.
Well, today's the day they actually
Yeah, I know.
got it.
I know.
So.
Man, everybody's awful quiet tonight.
Well, they watched Bambi. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say nothing at all.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Hey, Reef.
Oh, hey, there's Reef.
Good evening, sir. Episode 99 tonight. How
All right.
exciting.
Almost to 100.
You guys got Rudy back?
Oh, Rudy's going to be on tonight?
Yeah, Rudy's going to be
Oh,
on
nice.
tonight.
That should be good.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
Yeah, at least somebody will be decent will be on the show.
Okay.
He knows I'm kidding. He knows I love them guys.
Legend and Chato can go kick rocks.
I forgot about. I actually forgot about Legend. Yeah, no, Legend, Chato, and Rudy be great time.
Just forget about the chicken man.
No, Reef knows I love him.
It's his show.
Yes.
Who needs the host?
Right.
No big deal.
Next week is 99.
Okay, next week is 99. My bad.
So
that's right. This is your off week with a guest. I apologize.
So is next week gonna be Rudy or is this week Rudy?
No, Rudy is on tonight.
Oh,
it's
okay.
Reef. It's Reef and Rudy. Tonight.
Oh, okay. Oh, that should actually be a pretty good show then.
Right.
Yeah. Good time.
Yeah. Next week the boys are there.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, good evening, Daniel. Hello, Daniel-san.
Oh, hey, Dan is here. Mr. MMO Show.
Yeah, last week was madness.
Apparently, guys, I'm just finding this out now, but apparently Dan is a pretty funny guy.
He's hilarious,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
I've known he's funny for a while.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. He had me rolling the other day.
Like it was the best little giggle fit he's had in a while.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
I haven't laughed like that in some time. It was
Sometime.
He got me like out of the blue. I was just like, ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good one. Oh, womp womp.
Oh man.
That's all right. At least you made it to Vespers. That's good.
Right.
Keep that grace with you while you're sitting in traffic.
Right.
Would be ideal.
Yeah, honestly, the fact that you went to Vespers is
right.
Yeah, that's good on you, buddy.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a man who takes his faith seriously. It's about time I seen some of that.
Hey. Love to see it. Love
to see it. No, absolutely love to see it.
Yeah. He was giggling like a schoolgirl. A
Yeah.
little bit. It was.
No, it was full on belly laughing. It wasn't giggling.
It wasn't. No.
No, it was full on belly laughing.
It's one of the. Yeah. Yeah. It went on for a good little bit.
Yeah. And then it kept coming back.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh man.
Good
Okay.
times.
Well, we're here for a reason. So
We are here for a reason.
We're not here to
It's
talk about
whatever.
how funny Dan is.
It's not even. We haven't even filibustered for 5 minutes yet.
I'm just saying. Like,
No. You just want to jump right in?
no,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just busting balls.
Oh, okay. That's fine. You can do that. Your shirt's on backwards.
No, it's not. Yes, I know. I get the joke. So yes, welcome everybody. And yes, tonight's episode is probably going to be a little controversial for some of you guys, as you can tell from the title.
Oh, what's the title? Do Muslims and Christians worship the same God?
Yes,
Oh, that's the
that is the title of the video.
That is the title.
And I'm going to tell you right now, if you disagree with me, you disagree with centuries of Christian tradition.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make any wild statements. I'm just going to go over what the councils, what the popes, what the bishops, what the ecumenical patriarchs of the East have believed for centuries.
Well, and it's pretty much what everyone on planet Earth believed
Up until Jay
before.
Dyer came around. Yeah.
And it's not even Crier. It's not even Fag Crier. It's not that. It's that one particular culture war episode where the three of them sat there and it was unwatchable.
Yeah.
And Dyer and Gordon just talked over each other over nonsense. And at the very fucking end, little Crier Jay Dyer pops off with a and
Yeah.
then all of his little retards, not the fun kind of retards, just the dumb.
Yeah, I'm going to touch on Dyer a little bit on this video too. But I want to put out a statement beforehand. Are you going to talk about thing inside that black ice cube
that they walk around? No, we're not going to talk about what the Mohammedans.
No, we're not going to talk about. I don't even know what they call that thing. It's
Mecca.
That's the place. It's but I don't know what they call that cube thing. Either way, I don't even. It's nonsense.
I don't know. It's just the bigger version of the ones that the Jews put on their head and their arms, really.
Yeah.
Because they were talking to the same demon. But that's for later in this conversation.
Yeah. But I want to open this up with, this is not something I would normally talk about.
No, normally I wouldn't give a crap about it either.
Well, not only that, it's just, I'm not an apologist. I've been Catholic for 4 minutes. I don't have the knowledge to or any of that to be an apologist and tell you what's true. Like, this is something I normally stay away from. I am not an apologist. I do not do Catholic apologetics. That is not my place. I am not the guy.
Yeah.
But so many, we've gotten tagged in so many posts about this specific subject that it's like, I have to address it.
And I also can't be on, I can't even like scroll. I went to my backup account earlier today just to like get away from it on the timeline.
Yeah.
Because there's nowhere that I blocked so many people in the last 72 hours over this just because I'm so sick of seeing it. I'm so sick of the dumbness. Everybody's loudly dumb. And if they can be loudly dumb, hi, my name's Emily. I can play this game too.
No, I'm not gonna be loudly dumb. I am going to just state the facts as I know them.
Yeah.
And as both the Catholics and Orthodox explain it. It's not anything new.
No,
this has been centuries of both Catholic and Orthodox teaching. I don't know how the Protestants feel about this, because who cares about the Protestants?
Yeah.
But
they don't even know. They can't agree on anything.
No. But just so everybody knows, I'm not trying to get involved in apologetics here. That is not my thing. I am not the guy. I am just trying to learn how to be a good Catholic at this point. So I'm not here to be an apologist. It's just not. I will also like to state that I found out about 20 minutes before we came on that Mike Pantile, I think that's how you say his name, Pantile or Pantile, I'm not 100%. He put out a video titled similarly. I did not realize that before I titled ours and put it out there. It was not a copy of his, in case anybody thinks that. But also, he didn't touch on the subject at all in his titled video.
It was like an 11-minute video, and he didn't say
He didn't mention anything about it. But it was an excellent video, though. If you guys don't know who Mike Pantile is, you guys should check him out.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I guess this is a very reef-specific comparison. He's like the strong dad of Catholic.
Yeah, he's about
physical fitness. He's about being the leader of your home, leading your family, like really settling into your male leadership role.
Yes. He's all about the combination of like body and mind, you know what I mean? You can't have a sound mind if your body's all flabby, and you know what I mean? If your body's all flabby, your mind's gonna be all flabby, kind of a thing.
Yeah, if
you can't control your base urges, especially when it comes to eating and exercising, then you're too weak for everything else too. And
Discipline.
discipline. There you go.
Discipline. If you are undisciplined.
Thank you. That's exactly how I was trying to put that.
Yes. Yes. Because that's a big one.
Sorry, I got distracted here. But yes, so I just wanted to state, if anybody does follow Mike, that I did not realize he put out a similarly titled video. I was not trying to copy.
That's all right.
But okay, so on to the subject at hand. And hello, JC. Yes.
Hello.
So do Muslims and Christians worship the same God? And the very simple answer that everybody is trying to exploit is yes. And the reason yes is that Muslims, Jews, and Christians are all Abrahamic religions. So technically, we all worship the God of Abraham. So in that sense, yes, we do follow the same God in the fact that we believe in the God of Abraham. Now, clearly, Jews reject the Messiah and have gone off on a tangent. So they are out of the kingdom until they decide to
acknowledge the Messiah,
changed what they're doing, and come back. Then yes, they could be saved if they do that. But as it sits now, even though they worship the same God, no, they have no salvation because they reject the Messiah.
They've missed a step. Yeah.
So in the same way, Muslims who split off from the Abrahamic religion and believe in the God of Abraham were led astray by a false prophet with a bad theology and false beliefs, and they reject the Messiah and they reject the Trinity. So therefore, they are out.
Right.
They cannot make it to heaven unless they repent and believe it and acknowledge Jesus as the Messiah and the triune God.
Yep.
But as it sits as a Muslim, technically, yes, they believe in the God of Abraham, but no, they have no salvation through it.
Right.
And that is the teaching. That has been the teaching of the Catholic Church and the Orthodox Church for centuries.
Yeah, this whole time.
Many councils, many ecumenical councils, many of the ecumenical patriarchs of the East and many of the popes of the West have all agreed on this. This is nothing new. It's just the way it is. If you worship the God of Abraham, even if you do it wrong, we're not saying you're going to heaven because of it. Nobody ever said Catholics believe Muslims are going to heaven because they believe in the same God as we do. No, that is not, that statement was never made.
Nope.
That's a J. Dyer straw man.
Yeah.
That's him taking, oversimplifying a sentence, saying, oh, look, see, they believe this, without going into the actual beliefs of it.
Right.
So, that is just the bottom line of it, is technically everybody has always known that they're the three Abrahamic religions. Okay. We believe in the God of Abraham, but they've got it wrong and we've got it right. Therefore, we have salvation through Jesus Christ, and they do not, because they do not believe in Jesus Christ.
Yes.
And a good way to, and if not nice guys on here, buddy, please don't take this as a personal attack. This is,
We love you.
we love you to death, bud. But Muslims, in the same way that Mormons technically believe in the same God as us, the same God of Abraham, they were led astray by a false prophet, and they understand things differently because of it, and they lack the proper understanding.
They don't have the fullness of it.
They don't have the fullness of it. Now,
if you ask them, they'll say the same thing about us, and which you're entitled to your opinions.
But those of you who are not Mormon,
right,
do recognize that Mormons technically believe in the same God of us, but they were led astray by a false prophet, and and it is what it is. In the very same way, Muslims were led astray by a false prophet and given a false religion, and even though they technically believe in the God of Abraham, it is not. It's not the proper God of Abraham. It's not the triune God. They do not believe in the Messiah. Therefore, they have no salvation.
Right. And I think the thing that might help some of this is like the Mohammedans didn't come about until the 400s.
6th century.
Okay.
6th century.
Okay. What was that? 500s?
Yeah.
Okay. 500s. So there was enough time that they had opportunities. Like they had more than enough time to know about Jesus.
Right.
Right. So
well, they know about Jesus. They just don't believe him as like the Jews. He was a real person, but he was not the Messiah.
Right.
Muslims believe he was some kind of prophet, I believe.
Yeah.
But not divine in any way.
Yeah.
So again, the belief is there. It's just wrong.
Right. He just had epilepsy and received visions, which happens to epileptics.
Yeah.
Your brain does crazy shit when you're having a seizure, but whatever. But But the point I was trying to make is it's similar to the Jewish people where they were there when the Messiah came. They were there
Yeah.
and they shouted, "Crucify him."
Yeah.
And then they continued on, not acknowledging Jesus, running amok, doing their Jewery. And then because there were these two different things going on at the time. Then when you have Muhammad happen, and then those people already don't believe in Jesus, and then you got these Jesus people who've been persecuted this whole time. Like, so I'll totally go with this new Muhammad guy in the same ways in America when Joseph Smith went and found them golden tablets. We didn't have structure, and I mean, we did have religion here, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't the fullness of it. It wasn't the
No, it
truth
was
of
the
it.
Protestant
It was
religion.
just a new dude with a new understanding. I'm far enough removed from this stuff. Sounds good to me. So it's not, I don't,
Yeah, they were already in it was already a Protestant land where people were picking and choosing the parts of Christianity that they wanted to believe.
right.
Um,
So if this new guy has a new interpretation, then if all of these other ones already exist, then why can't his exist too? Muhammad was the first Joseph Smith.
yeah, pretty much. Yes. If you want to
And
get
I
technical
kind of
about that, yes.
I kind of feel gross saying that because Joseph Smith didn't say go murder everybody who doesn't convert, but he did say take a bunch of wives, which is a weird thing for both of them to do.
Yeah.
Again,
Of course,
I don't.
Muhammad said take a bunch of wives too.
Oh, that's why I said it's a weird thing for both of them to do.
Well, that's kind of the
It's also the same.
it's kind of the dead giveaway that Satan's involved somehow.
Right.
At least in my opinion.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, again, it's because once you get led astray by a
There's
false
some-
prophet, your beliefs get skewed. You no longer believe in the truth and the proper thing, and therefore you are astray.
and
So, again, like I said, nobody is saying that Catholics believe that Muslims are going to heaven because they believe in the same God. That's something that got twisted by
we
online ortho bros,
right.
and I call them ortho bro. Like it's okay. So let's get into this a little bit. So Jay Dyer is not Orthodox. He claims to be Orthodox. I don't know if he is actually in communion with an Orthodox church or even attends the Divine Liturgy. I doubt it. I don't know.
I don't know enough about him.
I don't know enough about him to know, but I doubt it. What I do know is he is an American evangelical.
Yeah.
Because he picks and chooses the parts of orthodoxy that he likes, and then he disagrees with the councils and the patriarchs on the stuff he doesn't like. He's a schismatic, which makes him a Protestant, which makes him and the way he's trying to invent this American version of orthodoxy, just like the evangelicals did it with Christianity here in America. It's a fake it's a fake version of a real thing. You know what I mean?
It's a knockoff.
You pick and choose the things you want, and then you say the rest of the stuff is nonsense. But I'm Orthodox. Like, no, you're not. You can't claim to be Orthodox unless you believe in all of the beliefs of Orthodoxy.
Right.
If you don't believe in all the it's like me trying to say I'm Catholic, but I believe in divorce and contraception.
Yeah.
And abortion.
Right. I'm a
Like,
pro-choice Catholic.
Yeah, I'm a pro-choice Catholic that believes in contraception and divorce. Like, no, that's
No.
you're not Catholic then. If you don't believe the basic tenets of the church that they have taught for centuries or millennia, then you're not Catholic.
Right.
You can claim to be whatever you want, but you're not.
Yeah. And that's the biggest difference, I guess.
Yes.
In it all is like it's the mystery of faith. Like I said this earlier to, I don't remember where I said it, one of the group chats. That's like our humans' original sin is we want to know. We want to know, right? Like we always want to know. We want to know, we want to know, we want to know for sure. And sometimes you just don't know for sure. You just got to roll with it. You just got to say, okay, for thousands of years, the church has said divorce is a sin and we don't try to not have babies.
Right.
And that's, maybe in my earlier years, I agreed with it. Like, it was, divorce,
Yeah.
not a big deal, whatever.
Yeah, for a lot of
Take your
years of
birth
my life,
control, it's fine.
I was very much in the impression that yes, abortion is murder and it's okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
That was my stance on it.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you're right, it's murder, but I don't care.
They allow you
It's
to do
okay.
it.
Yeah, but it's okay because I didn't really have a firm belief in God or any of that stuff, and I didn't really care. So, you know what I mean? I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, sure, guys, I'll agree with you guys. Abortion's murder. So why is it wrong? I
Yeah.
don't, you know what I mean?
Right.
I've obviously had
Changed since.
I've clearly changed direction on that one and have a completely different belief in it because now I have a firm rooted belief in God and the church. But you can't pick and choose.
No.
You don't get that. You know what I mean? If you if you want to be orthodox for whatever reason because you think it's cool, great, but you have to believe in the things.
You have to be.
It's one thing. It's completely one thing for me to listen to a bishop today make a statement that is completely contradicts and goes against centuries of and millennia of Catholic teaching and go, yeah, now that's not right.
Mhm.
You could do that, but you can't look back at centuries and millennia of Catholic teaching and go, that's wrong.
Yeah, you don't get to do that.
And that's what Jay Dyer does.
You don't get to do that.
He-
Your 2025 brain rot. Every one of us has it. Every one of us has it. Your 2025 brain rot cannot comprehend life, even life in the 1800s. You just can't. It was a different world, almost a completely different planet.
Yeah.
So you can't try to bring your 2025 understanding and your 2025 opinions and your 2025 programming and fight the ghosts of history.
Yeah.
You can't do that. The other point I have about the Mohammedans is my favorite ones are the ones that convert to Christianity.
Yeah.
It ain't hard. It ain't hard to get them to convert. I mean, some of them you'll put some work in, but for the most part, once they hear it, once they like get a good amount of a gospel given to them, then the wheels start turning. The truth is the truth.
Yeah.
The Holy Spirit will speak to them and give them the discernment and the wisdom that they need if only someone would evangelize them. And so they'll convert and it's fine. The opinion, I don't know for sure, but my understanding of the Catholic Church's opinion of the Jews and the Mohammedans, yes, we all worship the God of Abraham. However, you don't acknowledge Jesus Christ. So the second that you do that, we're good.
Right.
We're so good.
We have
We'll
to.
forget that you was Jewish. We'll forget that you was a Mohammedan. You're a Christian now.
Yeah.
How you doing? Welcome. Welcome home, baby.
Right.
Welcome home. And that's the opinion. Just convert. You don't even have to it's not that complicated. Just say, "You know what? No, I'm good. This Jesus guy, I think I can
Right.
get down with that."
Yeah. But yeah, this whole straw man of, oh, Catholics think Muslims are going to heaven is nonsense. You're just trying to twist the teachings of the churches.
Right. Arcane, doesn't Islam have consequences for leaving? Familial consequences, as much as Jehovah Witnesses have consequences, as much as Mennonites have consequences, as much as Amish
No.
people have consequences.
No. Islam has consequence of death for leaving the religion.
In those countries,
Right.
but here,
Even here, if you're in the wrong, and if your family finds out, some families they call them
honor killings.
honor
I know what they're
killings. Yeah.
called. But-
And in many Western countries, people have gotten arrested for these honor killings. They do no. There is consequences for leaving Islam.
The only honor killings I've ever heard anyone getting in trouble for on American soil was women being murdered. Those are the only ones I've ever heard of. I've never heard of an honor killing for an American Muslim leaving the religion.
I don't know for sure.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like
there are life and death consequences, sure, yes, but what would you rather? I mean,
well, that's fine. Become a martyr. It's free.
that's what I was just about to say.
Bypass purgatory, go straight to heaven.
What would you rather?
Yeah,
Like, if
go to hell.
If your first decision is to choose Jesus, and then the consequence of choosing that is to die, straight to heaven.
Yeah.
Not that I want that. Not that I want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. But like,
Yeah, basically, you're a best case scenario. You're excommunicated from your family, and that is generally the way it goes for Muslims in civilized countries like the U.S.
right.
Europe's a little different nowadays, but at least still here for the most part. Very rarely do I think you would be killed for leaving Islam in the U.S., but I'm not going to say it's not possible.
You're right. It is possible. Anything.
But at the same time, then you know what? Like I said,
if that's the price you have to pay, that's the price you have to pay. Because like Dan's saying right now, no consequence can be worse than leaving Christianity.
Right.
Because
then it's eternal damnation.
that is straight to damnation forever, ever. No chance of nothing.
Right. Oh, hello there, subliminal.
No immediate ones for sure. Well, yeah, he's subliminal. Yeah, but and again, it's not. I understand that some people have decisions to make, but ultimately, if they don't make that decision to choose Jesus, then they suffer eternally,
Right.
forever, ever, ever, ever. The
Yeah.
soul suffers.
Right. So
I don't know. Maybe it's easy for me to say as a white girl who's Catholic. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why I feel so confident saying these things. But I
I don't know, man. For thousands of years, people have been, persecuted and put to death for Christ, and
my whole family's Mormon. I was like the 40th grandchild of a huge Mormon family. If they all showed up with pitchforks and shit, I'd stand there and take it. I don't care.
right.
Whatever. Be mad at me, Joseph Smith people. That's fine. Okay. Cool. Sorry I hurt your feelings. Go ahead, take it. Just
But
do what you got to do, I guess.
yeah,
Uh,
I just say be wary of anybody who claims to know better than millennia of church teaching.
Yeah.
That's all I say. I don't want to sit here and harp on him and bash Dyer anymore. I don't like to give the guy this much thought usually, but it seems like since he came around, a lot of these stupid arguments
They're
are popping
very
up out. They're just
emboldened.
showing up out of nowhere, and it's like you people claim to be Orthodox, yet you don't hold any of the beliefs or stances of the Orthodox Church.
hmm
You're basically evangelicals. You pick and choose the parts you want to believe.
They just, from what I have seen, when I go on these little diggy digs on the Ortho Bros and I get to scroll in and click in and scroll in and click in, a lot of them just didn't want to be Catholic.
Right. That's exactly what it comes down to. They didn't want to be Catholic and they like to make fun of Protestants.
And
So they
why?
become a Protestant version of Orthodox.
And not only that, you're fucking Americans. You're Americans. And the only reason Orthodoxy is in this country is because European immigrants, you
Yeah.
turds. How many times have I told y'all, don't go invading those European people's holy spaces? They don't want you there. Those Greek people don't want your dumbass hipster American self there being loud and rude. They don't want that. You're not serious.
Well,
You're not about to go do no apostles fast. You won't. You'll go to fucking 7-Eleven and get taquitos.
yeah. The other thing, I don't know. There is a lot in this country that's become this big group of like all white Orthodox churches.
And that's not it.
The all American white, and it's like
That's not it.
no.
You have
Like
so
don't get me wrong,
many other places you can
if
go.
you for whatever reason feel really drawn to Orthodoxy for the right reasons, then by all means, man. Who am I?
If you're going to be a good Orthodox,
Yeah.
be the best one.
If you're going to be an Orthodox that believes in all the traditions and beliefs of the Orthodox, then by all means, go ahead. Who am I to, there's plenty of white people that go to the Eastern Catholic divine liturgies because they just can't stand the Novus Ordo.
Yeah.
And, I'm not
they
going to
have an Eastern rite closer than they would a Latin Mass. Yeah.
Yeah. So I get it. You know what I mean? There's reasons to do it, but do it right if you're going to do it. Don't come in here and invade these people's space and then tell them they're wrong for the things they believe.
Yeah. Don't go in there being an American.
Right.
Leave your Americanness in your car.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you can't be an Orthodox if that's the way you really feel drawn. By all means. If that's the way God is sending you, then
Go.
But go
Be there.
and be an actual Orthodox.
Right.
Don't bring this.
Don't do a la carte religion.
Yeah.
You can't do that with
In
the old one.
Catholicism, we call it cafeteria Catholics. I don't know what you guys call it in Orthodox. We have the same problem in Catholicism. People that show up and are like, yeah, man, I'm all about traditional Catholicism, but I don't like this thing, and let's get rid of that. And, oh, yeah, no, I don't want to do that. And you guys can't be serious. Sure you believe that?
That British MP.
Yeah.
Who got denied communion for voting against, or for voting
for abortion up until birth and assisted suicide. Yeah.
Right.
Like that guy, I'm Catholic, but I think we should be able to kill babies and kill ourselves if we want.
Yeah.
Like, no, you can't.
I'm a politician before I'm a Catholic, even though I was born Catholic and baptized.
Yeah. So this isn't. I'm not here to bash Orthodox people or Ortho Bros and say because I bash the same cafeteria Catholics for the same thing.
We have our own people.
Yeah. I have cafeteria Catholics that I dislike too. But there seems to be this big push in America of this weird fake Orthodox, Eastern Orthodox religion that is Americanized and picks and chooses the parts of Orthodoxy they like and the parts they don't. It's nonsense,
Yeah.
So do with that what you will, people.
But the down to the nitty gritty of it, official answer, yes, God of Abraham.
Yes, the official answer is Muslims, Jews, and Christians all worship the God of Abraham. Only Christians have salvation through Jesus Christ, so therefore only Christians are going to heaven.
Yes.
It's not to say that Muslims and Jews can't convert and then go to heaven, but as it sits, they cannot.
Nope.
That has always been the teaching of the church.
Yep.
So don't straw man me with your own Catholics think Muslims are going to heaven because they worship the same God as us.
Yeah, no.
There's a difference.
Nope.
There's a difference between all worshiping the God of Abraham and those who have actually done it right and not followed false prophets.
Right.
It's
'Cause-
that simple.
And I guess if they did really follow the God of Abraham, they would follow Jesus. And I guess that's
Yes,
like
no, and that's
the
true.
that's the continuation of it. Is that's where we
Yes,
get
do
in
they
this-
actually follow the God of Abraham? Technically, no.
Not really, because he
but-
showed up and said hi.
But they
Son
do
of-
worship the Old Testament God of Abraham. They just, instead of Judaism, turned it, Christianity is Judaism.
Is the continuation.
It is old.
fulfillment.
It is Old Testament Judaism. Christianity is Old Testament Judaism. Modern day Judaism is not. Modern day Judaism is a new thing that came about in like the 4th century, 3rd
Mhm.
century. The Talmudic Judaism.
Yep.
And I say that because like from the 1st to the 3rd century, Judaism was not really a thing.
No, pretty much everybody converted.
Some got converted a lot converted to Christianity, and the rest got dispersed mainly to Russia.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of fell apart. And then they kind of got back together and started this Talmudic Judaism thing. And I don't know the exact timeline. I think it's the 3rd century, 2nd or 3rd century. And then around the 6th century, there was a lot of converts mainly in the Russian area.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you get the Ashkenazis.
Right.
In fact, if you look at Vladimir Putin stated a couple weeks ago that he's not getting involved in Iran and Israel because 80% of the people who live in Israel are ethnic Russians.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true.
Yeah.
They're ethnic Russians.
Yep.
They converted to Judaism, or they were part of the Jews that got banished to that area, but mostly they're converted.
Mm-hmm.
Almost all, actually, at this point.
Right.
If there is any actual Semite blood in them, it's
So
next to
watered
none.
down and
It's next to none.
non-existent. Yeah.
It's all been interbred and conversions. So yeah, I mean, take it for what it is. But yes, the modern state of Israel is really mostly ethnic Russians.
Mhm.
So I don't want to hear anything about God's chosen people in Israel because they're Russians.
Yeah.
And the ones that aren't Russians are Slavic or Polish or, some other Eastern Bloc country, but the majority Russian.
Mm. Yeah.
Oh, but
So
But
there's
yes.
that. Not that you guys need to hear it, but nation state 1948 is not Israel of
Yeah,
the Bible.
these people knew that.
It's not. I just had to say it because we were talking about it. It's all the Bolsheviks' grandkids.
Yes, you are absolutely right.
Wah,
Thorn.
wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, hold on. Let me. I am so off on my. I don't even have my things up.
Wah, 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 wah.
I'm getting there. Calm down.
Nailed it.
Jeez, how many of these banks do we have? Yes, there we go. But yeah, for the most part, you're right. It is a lot of the Bolsheviks that that created the nation state of Israel
Mm-hmm.
after World War II.
Because they had to have somewhere to go.
Yeah.
'Cause nobody else wanted them. Even though they came up with the plan to make nobody else want them in the 1800s.
Right.
And they had a set number of how many of them had to go
Yeah.
to get what they wanted. But we're the ones that did it. That's a different story for a different day, class.
Well, apparently, MMO show Dan disagrees here.
Oh, I don't know.
Elaborate, sir.
Or maybe he's like a funny kind of, what? No way.
Yeah, maybe it could be one of those.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is this news to you, Daniel?
Curious.
I don't think it is. You know this. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
But.
But.
That's
Yeah.
God's chosen people.
Yeah. According to American evangelicals,
No. Sorry, no.
all nonsense.
Sorry, no. God doesn't want money. Yeah. God doesn't want you
Yeah.
to fund it.
It's funny
Well-
too. I that statement from Ted Cruz is like he he misquoted the Bible so badly to try to make that point too. And it's like, but anybody can pull. You don't even know the verse. That's the bird thing. He's like, oh, I grew up reading the Bible, and they told us this. I'm like, really? Where?
Right.
Well, I don't know.
In Sunday school.
Yeah, I don't know where, but it says it. And then when you read the verse, it's like, no, that's not what it says.
Nope.
Yes, sir, you're crushing today.
Yes.
You are on point.
It's always nice when you make a live show. Yeah, it's just can we get that EMP I've been asking for like 6 years? I know I'll be screwed too. That's how committed I am to making this right. I'll suffer too.
Right.
I won't have nothing. I won't have air conditioning, a car, a refrigerator. I won't have nothing. We won't have anything, but we can't keep on going like this.
Let's just hit the reset button.
That's the closest thing we can get to a reset is a global EMP. Where's them solar flares at? Come on, son.
Well, apparently you are the EMP.
I know I am the EMP, honestly.
You just got to go off.
Hey. If I could harness all of my autistic pterodactyl screeching, if I could do that and just unleash it once and I would do it. That's not the superpower I have. I have the power to be super annoying. Super annoying. And the super greasy wheel. Or squeaky wheel. That's the one. Lemon brings me. Yeah. Yeah, that's we can all hope. I'll see what I can do, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grand solar cycle didn't work. No.
I know.
No, we were all hoping.
Womp.
That's all right. We have a few more years of erratic solar cycles and behavior coming at us. So fingers crossed, guys.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah. Let's just hit the reset button.
Not over till the fat lady sings.
Yeah, I'm willing to suffer just to end it all the nonsense and
Yeah.
start over. Let's
Yeah.
go back to tribal.
Because, like, it's not like we could just go buy a chunk of dirt on the side of a mountain and go mind our business. We're not allowed to do that.
No.
We've seen that.
Ruby Ridge.
Ruby Ridge, Waco,
Yeah.
you know.
The Bundy Ranch.
The Bundy Ranch, right, yeah.
Yeah.
We know what happens when you try to just be like, I don't want to participate.
Right. I'm going to do my own thing over here with some people. Like, no, they don't like that.
Not allowed to do that.
No.
Or I guess the Samson option.
You can't use the Samson option because
know.
nukes aren't real.
Well, that's true. And also, I don't want the Jews to win.
The Jews won't win.
I know they won't.
Yeah, it's not possible for the Jews to win. It's biblical.
I know. Randy Weaver is the patron saint of millennial media offensive. Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Go
to rubyridge.lol.
Yes. Yes. That is a place you can go. Yeah. Well, okay. So we covered the title of the video.
Okay.
in the
Yeah,
first
so that's
40
my
minutes.
40-minute rant on fake Orthodox people and Jay Dyer.
Straw mans.
And the actual belief that every Christian has held up until these
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, up until these idiots came along and started trying to cause problems.
Yeah, until about 2 weeks ago.
I'm thinking we chased Tyler off with all this Orthodox.
No, I don't think so. I think he was just sitting in traffic and trying not to text and drive.
That could be.
That's probably.
I hope we didn't chase him.
I don't think.
Because when I was directed at him, he seems like a legitimate Orthodox.
Well, he went to Vespers today.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Right? Like it's
none of this is directed at him. He seems like a real Orthodox. I don't know.
No.
I don't know him. I don't know. You know what I mean? I haven't sat next to him or stood next to him in church because they don't sit.
Yeah.
But you know,
they don't have chairs.
Yeah.
They don't have pews. But yeah, it's not.
I do notice the more we bash Dyer, though, the lower view count keeps getting. Not that I care. If you're that big a fan of Jay Dyer that you're upset at what I'm saying, then please, by all means, go away.
You've lost the ability.
Yeah, you've lost the plot and you've lost the ability to be objective. Yes.
Because we really haven't even said anything that negative.
No, I haven't said anything negative that's not true at all. It's just that he picks and chooses the parts of the stuff that he wants to believe and disagrees with centuries of teaching. Like, I'm sorry, you can't do that.
Yeah, that's not quite how it works. Faith.
Yeah,
Faith.
it's like me coming in and just being like total Nestorian or Arian and claiming to be Catholic.
Yeah.
And these are Catholic beliefs. Like, no, they're not.
Those are old heresies.
Right.
People got punched in the mouth for them.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Okay, so well, anyway, on to oh, actually, I wanted to share the Mike Pantile stuff.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
So first of all, his thumbnail for the video he put, every 10-minute video, was awesome, and I want to share that real quick. Where are we at? Here we are. So yeah, here's his thumbnail here. Source: I debunked that, the debunker, and then over here, has read more books than you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very much true. There's so many apologists nowadays that have been, you know, Catholic for 10 minutes or Orthodox for about 10 minutes, and all of a sudden they know everything about everything, and they are an
Complete
apologist, and they're going to tell
experts.
everybody about what the truth is and how it really works. But this is the where'd it go? This is the bigger point that Mike was making in his video, and I'm going to enlarge this and read it to you guys. So it says, I remember having a conversation with one of my powerlifting heroes, and we were talking training philosophy. This has significant tie into the interior life. This particular guy had shared many had shattered many world records and dominated the sport for a time. He said, your training plan only has to be good enough, and the rest is mainly just hard ass work done consistently over a long period of time. Contrast this against the myriad of science based lifters now trying to do everything and anything besides bust their behinds in the gym. The conclusion: you can't out science poor work ethic. I can tell you this for a fact. Um, I have been trying to lose weight every which way other than doing extremely hard work for a while now, and it has not worked. Doesn't matter how many calories I count, doesn't matter how little I eat, doesn't matter what I do. You're not going to see results unless you put in hard work.
Yeah.
And guess what? Ever since I started doing 15, 20 miles a day on the bike as hard as I can possibly doing and showing up at the house near death some days,
Yeah.
all of a sudden now I'm down 6 pounds in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, huh.
Weird.
So yeah,
All I
you
had to do
can't,
was suffer a little.
right,
A lot.
you can't achieve a goal or accomplish anything without putting in the hard work. And that really is the same exact thing with your spiritual life. So the way this applies to the interior life is simple. The same can be said for those who wish to accumulate all the theology and historical head knowledge and apologetics of the faith without truly practicing the faith. An obsession around argumentation and the staunch intellectuality with none of the heart or true devotion certainly has its place, but it pales in comparison to an illiterate monk's approach to spirituality. The conclusion: you can't out-educate your poor practice of faith. That's the lesson.
Yep.
Yeah, and you can't just read the books and not practice the faith properly. It's
Nope.
just it doesn't work that way.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, an illiterate monk that just sits there and just loves God and
Praise all day.
prays all day and praises the Lord, but doesn't know anything about all the crazy theology stuff is far better off than
Way
somebody
better off.
that doesn't
Way better
that
off.
doesn't really practice the faith, but has read all the books and knows all the theology and is going to cause all the arguments. Jay
So
Dyer.
much better off. Yeah. And it's not even. There's a. I'll find it at some point and share it on X. But there's an old clip and it's in black and white and it's these two ladies and
Well,
they're
thank
on
you,
a
sir.
talk show and one is a college educated woman and the other one is just a regular old housewife and they're having a conversation and the gist of it is that you should want women to just be regular old housewives.
Yeah.
It's so much simpler for them because the minute that you overeducate them, then they begin to see that maybe they don't have it so good. Maybe I could have it better. Well, I know these things and I can't do anything with this. And it just creates a sense of like defeat within the woman to overeducate them. Am I saying that all of our women should be dumb? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, ladies, there's some joy in not knowing. You know, wasn't it just super simple way back when you didn't know some stuff? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
The same thing can be applied to your spiritual life, can be applied to your religious life. The less you know, the easier it is for you to just go with it, right? Like as long as you're reading your Bible, saying the prayers, doing what you're supposed to be doing, who gives a crap? Who cares what the church fathers had to say? That's somebody else. Somebody else can worry about that. It's not you. Not everyone needs to read everything ever written.
No, it's not a bad idea to read some of the stuff to get a better grasp on your faith or to understand
you need
some
one,
things. If
if you
you
need
need
one.
it, but you know what? Just
But if you're totally fine saying mystery of faith, baby.
yeah, and I'm okay with mystery of faith. I mean, don't get me wrong. I did some reading. I figured out some things because I wanted to know, like, where is the true faith?
Yeah.
And then I dig. You know, don't get me wrong. I haven't read the church fathers extensively. I can't quote them.
No.
Okay, I read, honestly, as far as like necessary reading to really affirm where I'm at was the epistles of Saint Ignatius of Antioch. It's 90 pages, half the pages in Greek, half the pages in English. You're only reading half a page, and it tells you everything you need to know about what the early Christians thought and about the practice of faith. And that's what led me to Catholicism.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, that's what led me to the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist, and the fact that the bishop, if you're not with the bishop, you're not in the
You're
church.
not in the church, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
Yes, you were. Mike Pantiel made almost the exact same point today, JC. One can achieve a sort of medieval peasant piety by having no idea what the Pope says. Absolutely, that is the exact point, sir.
Yeah.
You are
Nailed it,
spot on
JC.
with that. You nailed that.
Yeah.
You are a smart man, sir.
And Jenny, I agree with you. I don't think that we were either. I don't think women were created / meant to work outside of the home jobs until they die like a man. I don't think that either. Our parents make us, and then we're handed off to a dude. We make people with them. We take care of those people, and then we go back and we say, "Hey, old people, how you doing? Come on, let's go. I'm already taking care of babies. What's a full-grown baby? Come on, I'll take care of you too." That's what our job was supposed to be. We're supposed to be like in the house. People are supposed to come to us. They come to us. We don't go nowhere. That's how it's supposed to be.
Honestly, Thorne, because of my limited readings on the church fathers, but the impact that the epistles of Saint Ignatius played in my faith, my favorite would have to be Saint Ignatius of Antioch. He was an apostle of Peter and John, and he was the first bishop of Antioch. So he was the early church.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, learned from St. Peter and John and Paul. So, I mean, he knows what's up. He knows what the Lord taught.
He's one person removed.
He's one person removed from Jesus. Yeah.
Told by the 3 people who hung out with him. Like, it's
right.
I mean, Paul didn't, but
in a way, yeah.
He got blinded.
Yeah.
Close enough.
But yeah, he was. He hung and chatted with Paul, and St. Paul knew, but like he was a direct apostle or disciple, should I say, a direct disciple of John and then Peter.
Yeah.
So, but yes, I love Saint Ignatius of Antioch. You probably still have my book upstairs, but you can get it on Amazon really cheap. It's a thin book, the Epistles of Saint Ignatius of Antioch. It's just letters he wrote to the various churches on his way to be martyred at the Colosseum, fed the lines. Yeah.
I'm only halfway through reading it, to be honest.
Yeah, and again, he was the first bishop of Antioch. Oh no, I don't think he was the first bishop of Antioch, but he was. I can't remember if he was the first or the second, but he was bishop of Antioch. I want to say the first, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, not that it matters if he was the first or the second or even the third, but bishop of Antioch. So, okay. So that kind of closes out the whole title of the video thing with the end there from Mr. Mike.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really good. So then the next thing I want to cover today, which I'm not going to get too into because again, I don't do apologetics and I'm not willing to have a strong opinion on this. I'm just not. Because it's not my place.
Wait till y'all hear my opinion on it.
Yeah. So I will start off with okay, we'll start with Brian Holdsworth here because he's a little less inflammatory than Rob.
I would expect a Canadian to be more measured than a
Minnesota. Well, they're both Canadians,
Minnesotan?
basically. Yeah, he's from Minnesota. He's Canadian, basically.
I don't know. There's some docility bred into those Canadians.
So, according to this report Pope Francis lied about the survey of bishops regarding the TLM and the largely successful and beneficial policy of Summorum Pontificum. If those of you don't know what Summorum Pontificum is, it was the what do they call it?
Encyclical?
Encyclical. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It was the encyclical written by Pope Benedict, that lifted, that lifted the restrictions on the Latin Mass, basically did away with Ecclesia Dei.
Okay.
And then Traditionis Custodes by Pope Francis reinstated the limitations on the Latin Mass.
Okay.
So, so sort of in order, so basically, Pope Francis lied about the survey of bishops going TLM and largely success the beneficial policy of Summorum Pontificum in order to pursue a new policy that the bishops believed would do more harm than good. May God forgive him. Official Vatican report exposes major cracks in foundation of Traditionis Custodes. Previously undisclosed texts raised serious questions about the stated rationale for Pope Francis' decree restricting the TLM. So that's been big news in the Catholic world this week. I don't know if any of you have even heard of it, but that has been big news in the Catholic faith right now, in the Catholic Church. So I'm not going to sit here and say, okay, guys, Pope Francis outright lied. He is an evil man. He tried to destroy the church with it. Like, I don't know. Okay. I am nobody to sit here and call out popes. Like, who am I? Like I said, I've been Catholic for 4 minutes.
Yeah.
I am in no way going to sit here and try to pretend like I know what the Pope is doing. Now, everybody here knows that I have certain feelings about things that Pope Francis has done and said. I've never been a huge fan of Pope Francis.
Right.
But I've never had to be Pope.
Right.
I don't know the first thing about being Pope. I don't know. Maybe he had good reason for doing this.
Right.
I don't know. But I'm going to give the second side of the story. So we heard that side of the story. The Pope Francis deliberately lied and put these restrictions on the Latin Mass, knowing that it was going to harm the church. That is the storyline going. That Pope Francis did this intentionally to harm the church.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to show you the other side of the story. You guys make up your own mind. Honestly, Pope Francis is no longer with us. God rest his soul.
May he have mercy on.
Yeah. May God have mercy. Like I'm not going to sit here and bash the former Pope.
No.
I'm going to just look to the future. But there is a second side of the story that is worth thinking about. Now, do I believe this? It's tough, but I reserve judgment. I'm not going to sit here and call Pope Francis a liar. I'm not going to outright do it.
Yeah.
It's just not my place as a Catholic.
Well, and honestly, it wouldn't have just been him. Everybody that went along with him.
Right.
Right.
So
like, that's a lot of people to call a liar.
So Mr. Pope Splainer, Pope Respecter,
right,
says, first, the results have never been released to the public, so we have no trust in Diana Montagna that she actually has the survey and not something manipulated or biased fed to her to cause division, which is true. We don't know this. I have not seen this. Further, it is very important to note that Pope Francis didn't say, I did a statistical poll and sided with the majority. Instead, he spoke about the results broadly. It is perfectly possible that although most of the bishops were good with the TLM, the minority with concerns expressed issues that Pope Francis considered concerning enough to make TC worthwhile. The survey was not a vote on should we keep the TLM. The survey was an opportunity for the Pope to get information so that he could make a pastoral decision. That is one way to look at it.
Yeah.
Okay, because I have not seen the survey. Nobody's seen the survey. We are taking the word of a reporter.
That lady's word for it. Yeah.
And in this day and age, guys, like, should you believe all reporters?
No, we should not.
Yeah. So again, I'm not stating that this is fact. Also, I'm not saying that this guy's got it right. Okay. There's also a third thing that there may have been some cardinals or bishops that Pope Francis may not have ever even read this stuff. There may could the dicastery of the faith for the doctrine of the faith. Whoever heads that and the people with him could have looked at the survey and went, oh no, we don't want that, and then gone to Pope Francis and said, yes, so the thing is nobody wants the traditional mass. You know what I mean? He could have been lied to by somebody also.
Yep.
Again, not saying that's what happened, I'm not saying
There's
that's
a lot
even
of things that
likely,
could have happened.
but there's enough possibilities that I'm not going to just come right out and say that this man's a heretic and lied and tried to destroy the church.
hmm
It's just I can't bring myself to do that.
My opinion on it is Pope Francis's English wasn't so good.
This is also true. But again,
His
the
English
letter,
wasn't so
the
good.
survey probably would have been in Italian, but
I
this
don't
is
know.
a worldwide thing, not just an American thing. So it most likely wasn't in English. English is like the least used language in the Vatican. But again, he's Argentinian. He's from Argentina. So it's not to say that whatever language it was in he was great.
Is-
I don't know.
Right. That's where I stand on it. Is like the language barrier. That's
But-
what it is. There was a miscommunication, a misunderstanding.
Yeah, until
Until we actually, I guess, see this report with all those
not only the report,
questions that were asked and the
unless some
statistics
bishops and cardinals come out and say,
step
hey,
forward and say, "Hey, no, we definitely did this survey. We said that we wanted this. We thought that it would be right."
unless some bishops and cardinals come out and say, no, Pope Francis did this intentionally to try to cause division in the church, I'm just going to leave it up in the air and have no opinion on it.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm not. Now, hopefully, I do hope that this does lead Pope Leo to lift restrictions on the Latin Mass. I really.
He's been granting extensions. Texas got a 2-year extension.
Yeah. Now, first of all, anybody will tell you, any priest will tell you that when you're in seminary, the first thing you're taught is when you finally get to a parish, you do not make any changes for the first year.
Yeah.
You show up, you listen, you
just
observe, you get to know the people, and then you start thinking about implementing changes.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling Pope Leo is doing the very same thing here in his pontificate.
He's just taking a year.
He's just kind of rolling with the things as they are. Things that were set to roll out. Things that were set to roll out on the Francis are going to continue to roll out. And he's just going to sit back and observe and listen and take a very good pastoral stance towards things.
Mhm.
And then after a year or so, when he has a good feeling about
once he has a broad enough understanding of the situation,
right,
then
I think he'll start making changes, or maybe he won't. Maybe he'll be like, no, I think this is the right path, and we'll stay with it. I don't know, but I'm hoping that all this coming out right now will lead to the reversal of Traditionis Custodes and go back to Summorum Pontificum. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
But whatever.
We just got to see what happens. I mean,
I've got an extremely reverent Novus Ordo down the road. I've got a Maronite Mass down the road, and I've got a traditional Latin Mass done by a traditional group not far.
mm-hmm.
So any way you look at it, none of this is really going to affect me.
No.
And
not in like a ooh sucks for you kind of way, but like in there's no reason for me to invest energy and cause myself to end up in the confessional to have opinions on this when it doesn't directly affect me today, tomorrow, or Sunday.
Yes. Whether Traditionis Custodes stays or goes, you're still going to have FSSP parishes. You're going to still have ICK SP parishes, and we're still going to have the Canons Regular of St. John Canius not far from us that we can go attend.
Yeah.
So, is it good for the church to suppress Latin Mass? I don't think so. But again, I don't know the ins and outs of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, it's just hard to say. I do know the things done in the spirit of Vatican II are not good. Yeah. That I can say for sure. And the reason I can say it for sure is from reading the documents of Vatican II. Is it Sancro Sancto Sancilium? I can never pronounce it right. I can't remember. It's a tough word. Those are the document. That's the document from Vatican II about the new Mass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it clearly states that the Latin is to be preserved. Okay, nowhere in it does it state anything about communion in the hand, and nowhere in it does it state anything about altar girls.
Or Eucharistic minister.
Yeah, or Eucharistic ministers, or any of the stuff now that is everybody's biggest complaint about the Novus Ordo.
Yep.
So I can't.
It's not in there.
So
There's no directive to do that.
No, so anybody who bashes Vatican II, I disagree with, because honestly, the documents of the council are not that bad. The documents of the council are pretty straightforward Catholic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They really are. It's just the things that some bishops did after that really, like communion in the hand. That was something that shortly after the new Mass came out in Vatican II, certain bishops, the Germans and others, started kind of giving communion in the hand and telling people that's the regular way to do it. And at that point, Pope Saint Pope Paul VI
Mm-hmm.
had a choice to make. He could either come down on these bishops and be like, "This is absurd. What are you doing?
Right.
This has never been done before. How dare you?" Which is what he should have done.
Showed up.
Or he could give an indult, which he did, and say, "Okay, guys, it's okay in some sense. It's just you guys can give communion in the hand sometimes." And we went from it being an indult to it being the common way
day.
people. Yeah, within a decade, it became the common way to receive.
And now 4 decades later,
Yeah,
4 decades later,
yeah.
they're trying to tell us that that's how it's always been.
Yeah, they're trying to tell us that the receiving in the
It's always
hand
been
is the
this
normative way to do it, and if you receive on the tongue, you're weird. And I'm like, no. Last I checked, receiving in the hand was an indult. It was never really supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah. Being a good Catholic, I'm not going to sit here and badmouth the council because honestly, the council, as far as the documents go, like
It's
I said,
the way
the document on the mass was, the Roman canon was not to be changed. It clearly states in there, the Roman canon is not to be changed.
Yeah.
And what did we get? What did we get?
Changed.
It got changed. We got Eucharistic prayer number 2.
Yeah.
That was written in a pizza shop an hour before it was due on the bishop's desk, on the cardinal's desk.
Yeah.
Like it's,
Yep.
So the documents aren't the problem.
No,
It's
the brains. It's the brains and the fleshy meat sacks.
Yeah.
In the 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s.
And like I said, it's not okay to disagree with bishops and cardinals when it comes to the teachings of the church for the millennia.
Mm-hmm.
If these were the teachings of the church for millennia, altar girls, communion on the hand, all this stuff, then I'd say, who am I?
I showed up and it was like this.
I can't condemn it. That's wrong. But since this is something that goes against,
It's not even 100 years old.
yeah, this is something that 100% goes against the traditions and teachings of the church for 1,000 years, then I can say, yeah, these bishops were wrong.
And it also,
They did it under no authority.
yeah.
And some reason the Pope just decided to go along with it. So yeah, that's the difference there when I talk about, so you can't disagree with the bishops when it comes to the magisterium and the traditions of the church, as opposed to something that some guy decides to change one day.
Right.
So,
like cutting off verse 11.
Yes, like cutting off verse 11 off the readings because you don't want to say anything about the Jews.
Oh, Herod doesn't get what he wants, and the Jews don't get no joy.
Right.
Wah, wah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Hey, Q. How doing?
Oh, yeah. Hey. What up, Q?
Our favorite Florida man showed up.
Yeah. I like the picture.
I know. It always cracks me up. Because it's him, just with a black filter.
Yeah. Oh.
Hilarious.
Yeah. So anyway, so we're a little over an hour in.
Oh,
do we have more you want to rant about?
Well, but wasn't there one, whatever Rob said, didn't he like include articles or something, like some actual paperwork? Or is this just oh no, that's just a screenshot of the article. Never mind.
Yeah. It's, I can show it if people want to see what the actual article said. Journalists obtained the Vatican's overall assessment of the consultation of bishops that was said to have prompted Pope Francis to revoke Summorum Pontificum, Benedict the 16th 2007 apostolic letter, liberalizing the Vitus Ordo, more commonly known as the traditional Latin Mass and sacraments. The previously undisclosed text, which forms a crucial part of the official report by the Congregation for the Dicastery of the Faith, that's dicastery for the doctrine of the faith. It hasn't been the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith for a while.
Oh.
I think Francis one that changed all the congregations to dicasteries, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a change in name. I don't know enough about to know if that makes a difference or not. I know there's people all butthurt about it, but like I have no opinion because I don't know.
Okay.
You want to call it the congregation or you want to call it the dicastery? I don't care. But anyway, the Congregation Doctrine of the Faith, on its 2020 consultation of bishops concerning Summorum Pontificum, reveals that the majority of bishops who responded to the questionnaire stated that making legislative changes to Summorum Pontificum would cause more harm than good. The overall assessment directly contradicts, therefore, the statement rationale for imposing Traditionis Custodes and raises serious questions about its credibility. Again, I haven't seen these documents. I just know one reporter is reporting this.
Yeah.
I'm not calling that person a liar. I'm also not calling Pope Francis a liar.
Right.
I'm just going to trust that Pope Leo is going to do what is best for the church.
Yeah.
That is all.
And that's ultimately all that anybody should want out of their pope is what's best for the church.
Yeah.
That's what we all should be praying for, is that they are the pope does it what's best for the church, our bishops do what's best for the church, our individual priests do what's best for the church, our seminarians do what's best for the church. Like, we don't that's what we laity, normal people should be praying for, is that the people who lead us, our shepherds, um, get what they need. Not necessarily get what they need, but like what am I trying to say? That we support them doing what's good for us.
Right.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah. One other thing, since I mentioned German bishops, I don't have this article in front of me, but I watched a video from Dr. Anthony Stein the other day that was very telling about the faith in Germany, because the German bishops are just off the rocker,
Mm-hmm. They
promoting
usually are.
the blessings of homosexual marriage and pushing for the ordination of women. In fact, most people think that any day now they're just going to ordain a woman and wait for the Pope to
Smack them down.
Yeah, basically, force his hand on something, saying basically we're going to do it, and then you're either going to come down on us or it's going to become normal.
But not.
Yeah,
But no.
but either way, I can't remember which archdiocese. So it's an archdiocese, not just a small an archdiocese. Like, so people that aren't familiar with Catholicism, so there's like the Archdiocese of Chicago, which covers most of the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your diocese, like Diocese of Peoria, is like 150 churches.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty big. And then you've got we fall under the Archdiocese of Chicago. So there is an archdiocese in Germany that will, as of right now, will have 0 priest ordinations for the next 7 years.
Yeah.
Which means they have nobody in seminary right now. It takes 7 years for a priest to make it through seminary. So they have 0 people in seminary.
None.
So that doesn't mean that in 7 years they will have one. It's just that as of right now, there will be none for 7 years.
Nobody's graduating.
So you've got priests retiring out or leaving the faith altogether because of the bishops there.
Mm-hmm.
Or not say leaving the faith, but just leaving the priesthood.
Right, retiring early.
Yeah, retiring early, or just and so you have a combination of priests leaving and no new priests coming in. So I mean, if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about the fruits of this nonsense that they're pushing,
Yeah,
is ridiculous.
well, like, where are all those people going? Where are those young men who would have been discerning vocations? Where are they at?
They're probably either leaving the faith altogether, or they're just deciding that we don't want to deal with this. I can worship God. You know what I mean? I can be a good Catholic at home and attend a mass at the whatever, you know what I mean? But like, I'm not going to become a priest and subject myself to be under their power. Because as a priest, you are submitting yourself to that bishop, to those bishops.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't care how badly I wanted to be a priest, I could not submit myself to those bishops, because I will be forced to do things that contradict the faith.
Yeah.
I would almost be sending myself to hell.
True.
You know, because you would have to do things that they tell you to do that are
Completely
immoral.
Yeah.
And against the faith. So, yeah, I mean, these guys, these bishops in Germany, I mean, they basically have ripped up thousands of years of tradition and magisterial teaching, and just decided that, you know what, we're going to go with the way the world wants to go.
Yeah, that's not it.
No.
We're supposed to be the safe the like escape hatch from the world.
Right. We are supposed to be the light in the world.
Yep.
Not go along with the
timeless
world.
constant.
Yeah.
That one place of consistency.
Yes.
Man.
So anyway, that concludes our one and only show on apologetics.
Okay.
And it was barely getting into apologetic, but I don't like to touch on these kind of things because it's not my place. I'm no theologian. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
I've read a book or two and watched a couple videos. Like,
I don't know anything.
Yeah.
These people know I don't know anything.
Right. Yeah.
I just tell you to be Catholic. I don't tell you how to do it. I just tell you to be Catholic. Just be
Yeah.
Catholic. Show up to a church. Go to a Catholic church. Find the priest. I'd like to be Catholic.
Yeah.
That's all I tell you to do.
Yeah. If you want to hear good Catholic apologetics, don't come here. Go watch Sam Shimon or somebody like that.
Don't know about that. Don't know about that.
What do you mean don't know
Sam's
about that?
kind of spiraling right now. We need to pray for Sam Shimon.
I don't know if something's happened in the last 4 weeks, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, something's happened in the last 4 weeks. He's been
Okay.
on like 3 different shows with a whole bunch of other people, including Jay Dyer, and Jay Dyer got in there into his little head and has him spiraling.
Ugh.
Yeah, Sam's
Sam,
on.
I can't believe that somebody like Jake could get into something like Sam Shimon's
When
head.
you're in an interview in the situation that Sam was in, I can see how it can happen.
Okay, I
And
didn't.
when you have the ortho bros, when you have Dyer's little bots following you around and shrieking at you, I can see how it would drive someone to a certain type of state.
I guess.
I don't know. I have nothing specific. I just have seen a few not people who would not normally badmouth Sam saying, "Mr. Shamoon, please take a seat."
Okay.
Is where I'm at. Like I don't know for sure what's going on. I just know that there's been it's been tumultuous,
Okay.
one might say.
Yeah.
There's some tumult going on.
Well,
so
that's why you don't give people like that your
that's yep.
attention.
Nope, I agree.
Like I said, they're fake Orthodox. Why would you care what they say? They don't believe in the teachings of the church.
Yeah.
They pick and choose like American evangelicals.
Yep.
This thing's cool. This one's not. This is okay. This is not.
Like it's freaking Golden Corral or something. You
Yeah.
get to build your plate.
Yeah.
Nah. No. No. You get handed a plate and you say, "This looks great."
Well,
Thank you."
go back and watch anything from Sam Shimon that's 4 weeks old or older.
Yeah.
How's that?
That's good.
Is that okay?
That's solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
Don't watch any of his stuff in the last couple weeks, apparently. I don't know.
Again, I haven't watched any of it. I don't know for sure. I do not have actual confirmation of it. I just know that people who are supportive of Sam are just like, just take it. Shh.
No.
It's not that serious. Just calm down. It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll go upstairs and find check on Sam. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess that's been it.
Yeah.
We did it.
That is it.
Yay.
So tomorrow, we are going to finally put out an episode on our other Pareka Pack channel.
Yes.
So if you guys are interested in our fishing and camping stuff or anything about cycling,
Yep.
fitness,
outside stuff,
outside stuff.
non-Catholic stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I guess outside is Catholic,
But yeah, outside stuff, fitness, exercise, getting your body and mind right, and also spending time outdoors. Come check us out tomorrow on our Pareka Pack channel. I don't have time.
No set time, but it will be during the daytime.
Yeah. So basically, tomorrow we have mass in the morning and then adoration, and then
Old people coffee.
Coffee with the old people from the parish. And then I'm gonna go for like 20-mile bike ride. And then after I get showered and calm down from that, we will do the show. So I tentatively 1-2 o'clock probably.
It sounds.
I want to be
what I
done
was
with my
thinking.
bike ride before that because for the heat,
It's gonna be
for the
hot.
really heat. Yeah. So yeah, come check that out tomorrow if you guys want. It's here on Rumble. Pareka Pack is the name of the channel.
Mm-hmm. All one word.
Yep.
Friday morning. Am I doing a show?
Probably not.
Probably not.
It's 4th of July.
Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking.
I mean, you can do your show while I go out for bike ride. I don't care.
We'll see.
Yeah.
It might be a short one on Friday, just to check in, donk around for a little bit.
But yeah, I gotta get the rest of my 70 miles in this week. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true.
yeah. So if I do 20 tomorrow, well, if I do 20 tomorrow, I'll be at 55. Yeah. No, I got to do 20 tomorrow and then 15, 20 on Friday. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have to ride on Saturday or something. I want to use those rest days. I fit it pretty hard this week.
Yeah.
So yeah. Check us out tomorrow over on the Pareka Pack channel. No show Friday, most likely. And we will be back to you guys on Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
So God bless all of you. Thanks for hanging out. Those of you that stayed.
Yeah. It bounced. I'm going to assume that's just like Rumble being glitchy, services and stuff.
Uh-huh.
I don't.
Uh-huh.
Eh.
No, that's fine. I knew it was.
He plans for the worst. I plan for nobody to
Look,
show
I knew
up.
this wasn't going to be popular bashing JJ. A lot of you guys like him. I know that. You shouldn't. You absolutely shouldn't.
He's
But
kind of a turd. Very much just a turd.
yeah, but you're entitled to do whatever you want to do. Just be cautious. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, but God bless all of you. Thank you for being here. Those of you that stayed, we really appreciate you being here.
Yes.
And we will see you on Sunday.
God loves you.
Yes. Have a good evening, everybody.
Pater noster, qui es in celis, sanctificetur nomen tuum, adveniat regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tua, sicut in cielo et in terra. Panem nostrum quotidianum da nobis hodie, et dimitte nobis debita nostra, sicut et nos dimittimus debitoribus nostris, et ne nos inducas in tentationem, sed libera nos a malo.